Hey everyone, welcome back to CryptoCache. Thank you so much for joining me here. Hope you're having an awesome day. Happy May 5th, Cinco de Mayo, all that good stuff. And we're going to take a look at Bitcoin, see what's going on. Obviously, we're seeing a bit of a correction here today. Kind of anticipated that, but on the same accord, it's pretty standard stuff for these types of Fed meetings, so to speak, that just occurred yesterday. We'll look at that and much more, of course. If you're new to the channel, not a financial advisor, I just love teaching people how to trade. I hope you can learn something here today. This is my day job. I do this every single day for a living, so I can assure you it's definitely a comfortable lifestyle if you were to do things correctly. So in that sense, what I want to do is show you kind of some of those correct things. And if you want to become a better trader, CryptoCache.tech is a site, link in the description below. And I do have a trading academy, a community, and of course, Signal group where I share signals for every single trade that I take. And right now, we've got mostly short positions open, but also a few longs from before. So I can talk about that in a little bit as well. That being said, taking a look here at the daily, we've got a few things moving on around here. Okay, so the price effectively kind of rejected at the 20-day SMA, as well as the simple fact that that was a key level resistance. So if we see here, previously, I'd mentioned this before, until we close above soundly 40,000, close 40,000 or higher, we're not going to be making higher highs yet. Now, yesterday was a nice day, of course, don't get me wrong, we made higher highs and higher lows in shorter time frames, but we did not surpass this resistance level right here at about 39,700. That's the one-day candlestick close. That's usually what I like to look for in regard to support and confirmation, or just getting confirmation above and below support and resistance levels. That being said, we can see the price closed right at the same level, even though it wicked up a little bit, still not willing to pass 40,000. Therefore, we're seeing a sell-off here today, and what this does is this continues this trend line as well. Okay, so just keep in mind, even though we got a clean close above that yesterday, you still want to wait longer for confirmation. We don't have that yet. So once again, at this point, it's probably safe to presume the price will probably hover around where it's at presently, maybe even continue lower, just based on all the profits being taken from yesterday. But yesterday was a higher volume day than usual, and a lot of that has to do with the Fed meeting. Okay, so if you didn't catch that, the Fed meeting essentially, just told us that hey, we're gonna have a higher inflation than we were usually expecting. So that push, that rally from yesterday, seemed to be quite odd and contrary, because even though they were calm and kind of telling us collectively that we've got everything under control, it's still a very unfortunate circumstance, and that should impact the market. What do you know? NASDAQ was up yesterday by 3 or 4%, and it's back down by that same percent here today. Meanwhile, DXY, the dollar, is increasing. These are all common correlations that happen with Bitcoin, so this isn't really a big surprise to see it get rejected here. It would be nice to see a continuation of the upside, don't get me wrong, I'd love to see that, but I wouldn't be surprised if we see more continuation lower to test 36.5 and perhaps even further. There's potential for that, all right? Not saying it's a guarantee, but the likelihood of it continuing higher from here until we break, we've got to break at least 42,000 is going to be a point of contention. In other words, right here, it's actually trending right around 41,800. The 50-day SMA, that would be probably the most important thing to close above, in my opinion, to be able to have any kind of confirmation that we are back on track. It'll be a little while before that comes around. In fact, as time averages out, it'll slowly decrease in value, or the average will essentially decrease. All right, anyways, just some things out there. Another thing too as well, don't note, we got rejected at 50 in the RSI, big surprise. 40,000 was that key level resistance. We've also got a MACD convergence here as well on May 4th, which was yesterday, but that is slowly getting stopped out. So I wouldn't anticipate, a strong reversal here today, but once again, it could very well happen. There's stranger things have happened, but it makes perfect sense that the profits are being taken here today based off of all the increases, with a lot of folks like you and I jumping in as a result of the Fed meeting going well, right? So again, just some things to kind of think about. But here's something to keep in mind. We are currently below the 50-day SMA. Again, this 4-hour candlestick hasn't closed yet, but a closure below that would be disadvantageous. You can see the price came up and kind of bounced off of the 50-day SMA yesterday. Okay, so coincidence or not, based on the meetings, that 50-day SMA has a way of holding the price action in place. So we could very well see if we get a continuation close down below, then we will absolutely be able to see that work as a resistance level again, kind of driving the price action down along with this concurrent trend line. The 200-day SMA is working its way down as well, which is good, because in time it's inevitable for us to get back up above that. But for now, we got to expect that to be a resistance level. We're also tapering off just below 50 on the RSI. Now that's mostly because this one candlestick here, but we may or may not get a bounce here. We'll just go ahead and wait to see how the 4-hour candlestick closes here. That being said, 50 on the RSI can come and work as a support and resistance level, although it doesn't always have to, it can. Another thing to note here as well, even though we had once again a strong MACD convergence on the 3rd, kind of giving us that indication to take a long position, that is closed since then, right? That's basically telling us, hey, that door is shutting pretty quick, and we might actually see a MACD divergence where the price action comes down quite significantly. Okay, so just bear in mind we have a MACD divergence forming, obviously based on this candlestick here, but once again, makes perfect sense as to what is happening right now. So be cautious taking any long positions, at least with coins that are kind of uncertain. There are some coins that are worth taking long positions on. It's just very few and far between. All right. And again, if you open a long position, there's nothing wrong with that. I know it sounds kind of crazy, but in this market right now, the way that things are, you're almost better off excluding a stop loss. And I rarely say that because of the fact that you always want to kind of work within your means. But generally speaking, I see people get stopped out all the time. And the way to avoid that, of course, is to not have a stop loss. But you also got to be smart about how much you invest and what you're investing in. I'm only investing a small portion per trade, so I can hold on for longer if I need to. If you're using all of your money in one trade, you're doing it wrong, and you need to kind of adjust that. Those are things I teach in my trading academy. So once again, CryptoCache.tech, check that out if you want to become a better trader. But simply put, right now, trading without a stop loss in a lot of ways right now is almost the best way to go, because a tight stop loss, you'll get stopped out. Even a loose one, you'll see, like you get wicked out, like 10-20% shifts in altcoins right now. It's crazy. So again, just please be cautious and careful how you trade. Long positions are disadvantageous. Yesterday was kind of, I wouldn't say an anomaly, but it's based on the event that fear, uncertainty, and doubt was temporarily postponed, and now it's back to reality. Okay. So again, that's kind of where we're at. And with us trending lower than the previous, resistance, so to speak, this is not ideal, because right around 39,000, you could say, is a very, very rough estimate, very close rough estimate, is going to be a resistance level, where you can see the price previously got rejected out here, rejected initially, broke through, use it as an increaser. So for lack of better terms, I would say 39,000 is probably a key level to close above today if we're going to have any hope in continuing higher in this little trend that we're in. Okay, but again, by no means are we back in bull town for Bitcoin. We're still a long ways from that, and once again, we need confirmation to get there. We do not have confirmation, especially with this. This is tentative confirmation that the price is going to probably continue to go lower. Once again, a lot of volume here in the selling pressure. Nobody's really willing to buy, and a lot of folks are just kind of sitting on the sidelines waiting to see what happens. Taking a look at TD sequential, we can see we came up to a 9, got another reset after some overtime, and then ramped back up to a 7, and ever since then it's been kind of hitting 7s, and then now we're down to a 2. So quite literally here, again, this is not specifically guaranteed because you can see it went even further here. We could literally see it come all the way down to a 9 and probably retest 37,500. I would not be surprised if we see that here today. Again, just kind of getting that strong push. But once again, if we continue to maintain a decent amount of volume and the price goes sideways for a little while, we may be able to hold at 39 and potentially get a bounce, right? I think that's a less likelihood than the price continuing lower, but once again, we're only about 2 hours into this momentous trend, and we have the whole rest of the trading day left for whales to take their profits, to drive the price down, get their average price lower, and essentially manipulate the market as we always see happen. Another reason why specifically tight stop losses are ill-advised right now. Okay, so again, just be cautious and careful, and dollar cost average whenever possible. Now, taking a look quickly here at Ichimoku Cloud, we can see we're retesting the cloud, so there is somewhat of a saving grace here, but you got to keep in mind that the lagging spans already intersect with the price action, conversion lines below the baseline, so even though we haven't broken below the cloud, we've got significant bearish divergence that's going to probably push the price action through there. Again, no guarantees. There is possibility of the price coming back up and riding out this cloud, but once we break below and we close below the cloud, which is almost inevitable, even if we go sideways right now, then there's a strong likelihood that'll work as a resistance level, and we'll have to face that later. Okay. again, just some things to pay attention to. I wouldn't get super excited after yesterday's activity. Yes, it was nice to see a 5% day from Bitcoin or whatever that was. I think 4 to 5% at least, and some altcoins surging. But you got to recognize that that's very temporary for the moment. Okay, so let's see what happens here. Of course, be patient and cautious, of course. And once again, dollar cost average whenever possible. Limit your long positions for the moment. Of course, add to your positions on the coins that are perhaps in the top 25 or 50 to get some extra skin in the game in case this is the lowest point that Bitcoin goes right now. But at this point, significant bearish divergence is still showing. We're still trending downwards on that trend line, and there's a handful of other reasons why we shouldn't expect the price just to bounce immediately and to recover. But we are hoping for a bounce off 39,000. I think a close today above 39,000 would be very helpful to kind of potentially continue this trend and to have an opportunity to be able to, have a healthy staircase type of pattern and to establish higher highs and higher lows. That being said, that's pretty much all we have to look out for here today, and I hope that you found benefit. So thanks again for joining me. I look forward to working with you in the next videos, and appreciate all your support to my current community members as well as my subscribers. I greatly appreciate all of you. Thank you so much, and I do look forward to getting to know you better if you're not already currently a community member. Again, CryptoCache.tech is a site, link in the description below. Have yourself a great rest of your day. See you in the next one.